All right, so test review, you had to do 1 and 5 from this section. This is literally just rewriting it in algebraic form. So like the first one, the answer was just 3 cubed. You did not need to solve it. I don't want 27. I just want you to rewrite it algebraically. Increased, what is that? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Yeah, it's plus. All right. So those were literally just rewriting it. You don't have to solve anything. You're just rewriting it. All right. The next one is evaluate. When you have something like this, you want to plug it in and then do order of operations. All right. So they gave us y minus x divided by 5. All right. Most common mistake here is actually forgetting like the divided by 5. So make sure you pay attention that you plug everything in and use everything that you were given. So y was -1, x was -6, and then divided by 5. Order of operations. What do I do first here? My parentheses. Subtracting a negative is adding the opposite. So I have -1 plus 6, which is just going to be 5. And then 5 divided by 5 gives me 1. All right. For the next one, they threw in fractions. All right. This is the biggest struggle for most people, are these fractions here. I'm just going to plug them in. My x is -2/3. Plus, what is this xy? What's happening between those two variables? Yeah, multiplication. So I have -2/3 times 2 1/3. You don't want to multiply a mixed number. All right, so you definitely want to change that to an improper fraction. So how do I change this to an improper fraction? Yeah, no, we multiply plus, right? So we have, that's division. So we do that. Leave this guy alone here. We're going to change this to 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So this is going to be 7/3. All right. Order of operations tells me to do what? What do I need to do with these fractions first? I need to do this piece first, all right? So we're going to leave this first one alone, and we're just going to multiply. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 3, and it is a negative because I multiplied a negative times a positive, right? Now, I need a common denominator here, correct? Right? What is my common denominator between 3 and 9? It's 9. 9 is my common denominator, so I need to multiply everything here by 3. So I get -6/9 plus -14/9. I'm just adding two negatives. When you're adding the same sign, you just add and keep the sign. So what is 6 plus 14? Yeah, so I'm going to say -20/9. That was my answer there. -20/9. All right, I gave you the page number here, so make sure you know those formulas on that page. Perimeter is just adding up all your side lengths, okay? So they gave me a length and a width. So if we had a rectangle here, right, we have a length and a width. And remember, this is the same and this is the same. So you literally just add them up. 3 plus 7 plus 3 plus 7, you're going to get 20 here, 20 inches. Or you can say 2 times my length plus 2 times my width. All right, same thing, 14 plus 6. All right, so your answer will be 20 there. When it's a triangle, it's just 3 sides. You're literally just adding them up. Right? And so make sure you line up your decimals and then you just add. We get 16 here, carry. We get 7 here, and it is feet. All right? So just make sure you know your formulas. All right, so for this first section, it just says simplify. It does not say solve. Simplify just means combine like terms. You are not giving me an answer for x. You're just combining your like terms. So like on 17, 4x and -1x. If you have 4 x's and you subtract 1x, how many x's do you have? You have 3 x's. That is your answer. You're done. You cannot solve it. For this one, you do need to distribute first. So we're going to distribute the -8 first. Leave this 4 alone. Negative 8 and positive 10v, negative 80v. Negative 8 and negative 10 is positive 80. And then combine your like terms. We have a 4 and an 80. That's 84. You can't combine anything with that negative 80v. You are done. You are just combining like terms when it says simplify. What's happening between the r and the 12? Division. So what do we do to get rid of it? Multiplication. That is correct. And again, kind of big numbers here. Negative 13 times positive 12 is going to be negative 156, by the way. So for number 31, we're going to have to distribute first before we can do this. You can see that it's getting, adding a step here. We have to distribute the 4 first. Positive 4 times negative 6 is negative 24r. Positive 4 times negative 6, negative 24. And now we just have a two-step equation. What's my first step here? I'm subtracting the 24, so how do I get rid of it? Yep, add the 24. Pay attention to your positives and negatives. On the left-hand side, I still have negative 24r, but these are two different signs. Two different signs, you just subtract and keep the sign of the larger. So just do your subtraction here. And then it is going to be a negative because of that. All right, so we have equals negative 168. And again, I'm not going to give you ginormous numbers like this, but that does divide evenly to be a positive 7. All right, so for this one, we're going to have to do distribution twice. So we are going to distribute this negative 7 through. Leave the negative 1 alone. Negative 7 times positive 1. Negative 7 times positive 3x. And then we're distributing a negative 6. Negative 6 times positive 7x. And negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6. And then I just want to simplify as much as I can and then start moving things. The negative 1 can't simplify, but over here we can. Negative 7, what can that simplify with?
6.
Yeah, positive 6. That's going to give me a negative 1. The negative 21x and negative 42x is going to give me what?
21.
Yes. So we have negative 63x. All right, I'm going to add my 1 over. All right. Now pay attention here. This zeroes out here. It also zeroes out here. So on the left-hand side, I have 0. 0 is a number. It's a valid number. This does not mean no solution. It's just 0 equals negative 63x. So what times 63 equals 0?
Negative 63.
Yeah, what times negative 63 equals 0? What do I have to multiply that by to get 0? Yeah, I have to multiply by 0, right? So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 63. What is 0 divided by anything? 0. My answer here is 0. That is a valid answer. So don't get this answer and then tell me no solution. No solution is if you were to get 3 equals 2. That's not a true statement, okay? But x equals 0. 0 is a number. It's a whole number. It's an actual solution, okay? So don't confuse that with like a no solution. All right? This last type is a variable on both sides, okay? So that's the last type of equations you'll have. On the left-hand side, we cannot do anything to simplify that. On the right-hand side, we need to distribute. Negative 8 times negative 6x is positive 48x. Negative 8 times positive 2 is negative 16. All right? And this is also going to be a 0. Okay. So numbers to one side, variables to the other. All right, this is going to 0. I have negative 16 equals 49x. And then add your 16 over. Over here, we have 0 equals 49x. What's my answer going to be? It's going to be 0. All right. I saw a lot of this on the quiz where people thought that was like a no solution. So I want to make sure you see that. I'm going to give you the answers to the last two. We've already done some of these in our bell word. You're going to have ones where it says to get rid of your fractions and get rid of your decimals. What do I need to multiply everything by for 43?
21.
Yeah, my common denominator is 21. And so you're going to multiply everything by 21. For this one, you're actually going to end up with that.